I think these characters were written so well, and they were written so perfectly to match our personalities, that it was, I mean, when you're watching the show, Boy Meets World, I mean, that's us. I mean, for the most part, that really is how we are. And so, you know, was it hard being Corey again for the new show? I mean, I was a little scared, but you know what, it was actually pretty smooth. It was a pretty smooth transition.
Was Will really like Eric?
Will was not like Eric in the beginning, because he had a fine mind, and he spoke in complete sentences. But when I asked him not to, his facility for being less than human was astounding. So I don't know, and I don't know how to answer. I turn it over to you guys. Ryder?
No, there's no, I mean, but that's the thing about Eric as a character, is that he was sort of a different character every line, every scene. And Will, I mean, I think we all realize, I'm sure, I mean, Will became a genius comedic actor before our eyes. Like, in the original the first season, really, I mean, Will say this too, he's like, I learned how to act, because he's like, I didn't know how to act that whole first year. But I also think it was because he didn't really have much of a character. It was sort of like, he was the older brother, and, you know, he was like, at first he was kind of the good-looking guy who could always get dates, and then, like, that didn't really work, and because he was kind of too funny, and anyway, by the time, you know, he was doing plays with squirrels, it was like, this is Will's wheelhouse. Like, just give him some weird makeup, put him in a couch, anything, and he'll run with it. And I mean, it was insane. I mean, I think working with Will was probably, I mean, for me, one of my favorite experiences of the show. And he would get a scene, you know, all of us would get a scene, and we'd read it aloud, and we kind of like, after 7 years, you know each other so well. It's like, I know how Ben's gonna say this line, he knows how I'm gonna say this line. No one knew how Will was gonna do anything. I mean, he would just show up, and it would be like, who are you? Yeah, he's a genius.
I think as parents to Will, we would just go, really? We just kind of shook our heads. He was always a surprise. It was a little Michael J. Fox. A little bit.
Fan question time. You guys have questions? I don't know if microphones are going around, so I'll start in front.
Just a little bit, but I feel like we're halfway through this summer, I guess much older than everybody. Halfway through, like, the comedy between, like, men and, like, Nicksay, and I love that. Was that like a comedy system that kind of made it go over your?
I think in the beginning, you have to please the studio, you have to please the network, you have your corporate masters. When they realize, oh, we have a hit on our hands, they start trusting the people who gave them the hit. With that trust, we were able to be who we really were. And what we did was hit the accelerator. The promise of it was at the beginning. The fulfillment of it hit, as you say, at the middle and went on through the end. But let Ben answer that, and the rest is what their experience was.
I mean, I don't know. I thought that was a good answer. I think that's good.
That was really entertaining. Ryder?
You know, the only thing I would add is that Boy Meets World was in this weird position. We were a hit show in that we were on the air, we were getting good ratings, but we weren't as big as a lot of the other shows around us on TGIF. Like Sabrina the Teenage Witch was getting much higher ratings than us, and ABC even pushed us to a 9:30 time slot for half a season. So we were in this weird position where we felt like we had an audience somewhere, but we weren't in communication. You know, this is pre-internet, so we started, I think, pushing the envelope a little bit more because we felt like we can't lose, you know? We can only take more chances and do what we really want to do, and I think it paid off. I think that those later seasons got better and better, and we took more and more chances, because in a way we sort of felt like, you know, no one's writing articles about that huge, crazy new show, Boy Meets World. We were just kind of this safe Friday night, you know, and it was like we had our own playground, you know, no one was paying attention to us. That's how I felt.
You know, it's funny because Maitland hit something. A moment that you're looking for is shows are music. I mean, to me, and it's no coincidence that real good comedians also play an instrument. Steve Martin, banjo, Groucho Marx played.
I play the piano.
And there's an exception to every rule.
But Maitland hit when Ben's music changed. We were doing 2/4 because that's what you recognize. You recognize 2/4 time. It's predictable. You get what's going to happen. All of a sudden, Ben would do things. It wasn't scripted. When Maitland said that line, and Ben, I can't remember what exactly the line was, and I looked at the quad and went, what did he do? And all of the writers are laughing, and I start laughing, and we do a second take of it. And all of a sudden, Ben started hitting half notes, and he paced up, and he took the character, and he decided who Corey Matthews was, and that's a proud moment. For any father, when your child decides, I now can ride this bike without you, fantastic. And that was the difference you noticed.
Question? In the back there?
Yeah, Michael, Danielle, in her video, called you perfection. And one thing that you just shared with us was that, when her tattoo was showing, you were like, well, let it fly, because you enjoyed the scene. How do you find a balance between being a perfectionist and knowing, oh, let's just let it fly and see what happens?
I don't. I apologize to you. I did not mean to intimate that I was fine with the tattoo. I'm still talking about the tattoo. We only have 60 minutes here with you, and I'm talking about the tattoo for an awful long time. That tattoo, I would take a knife. That tattoo ain't gonna be on Girl Meets World. I don't know. As a perfectionist is something that I don't think it's right to try to be a perfectionist because you can never achieve it. I do know that if you trust and honor the audience, and there's a moment that you're watching in front of you and you believe it can play better, you have to at least make the suggestion to your cast who you trust and see what they next do with it. We always got better. Always got better. Frankly, the show never had to be canceled. I think TGIF came off the air. I remember the fellow's name was Stu Bloomberg called and said, that's it, we're going to move on from TGIF. You did a remarkable job. And all of the shows came down. The thing is that Boy Meets World, at the end of its 7th year, could have gone to an 8th year, a 9th year, a 10th year. Watching them grow was your fascination and my fascination, and they had begun to do it themselves. The show could have easily stayed alive, and in those responses I'm talking about before that you've had, you're proving that, and we appreciate it.